Yo, what's up, everybody? We back again with another Rap or Cap podcast with your host, Mike the Young OG. That's Mike THE Young YOUNG. I don't do that young stuff, that YUNG. You know what I'm saying? We are illiterate around here. You feel me? So, man, I'm just so excited right now to do another episode, man. It's been a crazy ride, and I'm glad that I'm receiving some of the support, some of the feedback that I'm receiving. It's been really, really, really blessing me just to see people really kind of like feeling and loving the podcast. And, even like people who, are at work and playing the podcast and starting, little disagreements, and people who are having conversations with their like significant other about it. Like, I'm just really excited that it's being received well, and that it's sparking people to challenge the way that they think and to think differently. I think that's really the focus of the podcast, not really to sway you on opinion, but just to challenge your thinking and to kind of get you thinking outside the box and kind of getting you to think outside of what you normally would go with, you know what I'm saying? So man, today I got a topic that's been burning me for like the past 15 to like 30 minutes. Like, I just been sitting here thinking about it. And before I get into it, y'all go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube page, Rap or Cap Podcast on YouTube. Go ahead and subscribe, like everything you see, like it up, do some comments, share it with your friends, your families, your boyfriends, your girlfriends, aunties, and your little TTs too, you feel me? So I'm gonna need y'all to follow my Instagram, Rap or Cap Podcast. That's Rap or Cap Podcast, and on Instagram, and we on Twitter now. We live, we ready and everything. And you can follow my main page at Mike the Young OG. So without further ado, this is another episode of the the Rap or Cap Podcast. Sorry, I got ahead of myself. I'm over here trying to look at what I'm about to talk about in my notes. So I really was struggling trying to find a topic really to talk about next, but then boom, it just hit me. And I love it when that happens, because then I could just go with the flow, and I don't really gotta sit down and really think about it for like a long time, because I want to come to y'all correct. I don't want to just come with y'all with some halfway stuff, you feel me? So the title that I'm gonna stick with, it might change, I don't know, but what we're gonna talk about today is stop labeling people by their past. And I think this is so important, because I feel like people see this on an everyday basis. So I mean, I'm gonna have to do my sister like this. She know the vibe, so I know she's not gonna take offense to this. But we was talking about Jason Tatum in our group message, or one of my group messages, and she was like, "Nah, I can't mess with Jason Tatum because he's a cheater." So I'm like, all right, cool. Like, I don't really know nothing about whatever his situation is with his former girlfriend or whatever. I just know he got a cute baby. So that really kind of rubbed me the wrong way, because I was like, man, like, dang, like he cheated, or he's a cheater. Because to me, when it comes to, when people fall, when people sin, when people make mistakes, like, show me a pattern and I'll identify you by that. Show me that you cheat and I'll call you a cheater. Show me that you're consistent and I'll say that you're a friend, or I'll say that you're always there for me. But don't give me a one-time offense for anything and think that I'm going to identify you as that. I need consistency. And I think that's how we all should be the judge of things. And that's really how God calls us. It's not necessarily our one-time offenses. He calls us his children. He calls us his sons and his daughters, regardless of the things that we do. But yeah, here we are on earth looking at each other like, yeah, I see you cheated on that test. You a cheater. Yeah, I heard you lie to your homeboy about him being with his girl. You a liar. Like, nah. If that's the case, we got to apply that to everything. So hear me out. Let's just say, for the sake of, picking an example, we gonna choose, I don't know, let's say the greatest performer on earth right now, Chris Brown. See, and I know this is about to be a sensitive topic, and some of y'all really about to get offended, but just hear me out before you start turning the podcast off, or before you're like, oh my God, he's about to defend. Come on, bro. Like, just relax, all right? So, Chris Brown had the incident with Rihanna where it was domestic abuse, and he was 1,000% wrong. He's the man in that situation, regardless of what she did to spark that situation, or what she did to instigate it and make it worse. He's the man. He ultimately was in charge, I should say. So he was driving the car. He had an opportunity to pull over and be like, look, you're bugging. Like, I'm gonna leave you with the car. I'm just gonna call somebody. Or he had the opportunity to be like, all right, like, get out. Like, that would be better than, you know what I'm saying, obviously beating her and stuff like that and losing your self-control. But, and not even a but, just moving on from that. He apologized. He paid his debt to society. He'll never be as big as he once was, or was supposed to be, because of that, because people still hold it over his head. And I see this all the time. Chris Brown would be Drake status in terms of celebrity, and he's still big. Like, Chris Brown is huge, like, huge. But he would be what everybody feels about Drake if he didn't have that incident. And they feel like Drake can do no wrong. Drake had a baby by a stripper, and, you know what I'm saying, he really hasn't had any kind of, you know, media issues. So I feel like Chris Brown would be in Drake's position in terms of that, and Chris Brown would be more marketable. Drake is more marketable because he doesn't have anything that people can really use against him that's been controversy. Chris Brown has that incident. He had the hit and run incident. He has the Karuche baby mama drama. He has a lot of allegations, and he's been in trouble with the law. Therefore, he's not as marketable to people as Drake is. So my thing is, bro, that happened like, what, 12 years ago? Over a decade ago? Y'all, I'm not saying we should, you know what I'm saying, just forget about it and be like, oh, Rihanna be alright. That's probably like something she gonna probably have to be dealing with for the rest of her life. She probably thinks about that more often than not, just because that was a traumatic experience. She probably like is traumatized forever about that. That's probably something very crazy for her to really think back to see that happen, and that the whole world got to see what happened and how public it was. So I'm saying all that to say, forgive the man. Forgive the man. Stop dragging this man, even at the Grammys, like, or even at other award shows. I can't remember what it was. Y'all do domestic abuse and put Chris Brown right there on camera when y'all doing a video about domestic abuse, and that's cool. Like, y'all want to push that, and it's not about to turn into a me defending Chris Brown thing. I'm just keeping it real, and I'm using him as an example, and I'm gonna use a bunch of other examples. So stop using Chris Brown. Like, if y'all gonna do that and push the whole, okay, like, we're against domestic abuse, cool, but why would you even put him on camera during that, knowing how sensitive that topic is for him and how sensitive that was for everybody that was in that situation and everybody that saw it? So y'all gonna label this man a woman beater. Y'all gonna label this man like everything in the book that he's done wrong. He beat Rihanna once. Once. Like that. It was rumors about, you know what I'm saying, them getting into fights before and they be beating on each other or whatever, but this was the first incident where he actually like whooped her. Like, he went on his little documentary before and was like, hey, like, you know, this ain't the first fight we've been into and stuff like that. But forgive him. Like, this man is living, like, he's had to shift his whole life simply because of the fact that y'all won't let it go. And honestly, if somebody did that to us, oh my God. we would be going crazy. I'm telling you. Let somebody call you something from your past that you did that you don't like. Let somebody bring up your past and you done moved on and you a whole new person. Let somebody call you that something from your past. You be ready to fight. You be offended. Let somebody do that to us. But yeah, we could do it to a celebrity. Yeah, we could do it to our best friend. Yeah, we can do it to the person that live across the street. Hypocritical. You can't do that, bro. Now, if someone is a drug addict and they're consistently using drugs, they're a drug addict. I'm not gonna call somebody who smoked weed once or tried cocaine once a drug addict. If you only did it once, it's highly unlikely that you did cocaine once. But I'm using it as an example. But if you tell me you did it once, I'm not gonna label you a drug addict or a druggie or a person who does drugs. You told me you did it once in your past. And there's no evidence of you doing it now, so I'm not going to identify you as that person. You understand what I'm saying? You cannot take and pick what you want from people's past so you can put on them today to try to hinder them from moving forward or try to label them to make them feel less than or to make yourself feel better. That's not fair to anybody. You can't just sit there and nitpick anybody's life like that. You can't sit there and let Chris Brown be the poster boy for domestic abuse. And it happened 12 years ago and this man has repented for it. This man changed his whole lifestyle so that he could stay out of the way. He built a studio in his house. He doesn't go to the club. When he does go to the club, there's always an allegation against him. Oh, Chris Brown's mob got into a fight. Oh, Chris Brown rape allegations. And then it comes out not true. And y'all are like, oh my God, wow. Like, what do you mean, oh my God, wow? There's a reason why he doesn't go out. There's a reason why he just sits in the house all day, makes music and plays with his daughter and paints all day. There's a reason for that. He enjoys it and he's filthy rich. So he has other things in his house to entertain him. But two, because he knows how the media works now. He knows how society works now. He came in the game as a 15-year-old. He wasn't even 20 when the situation happened. Both of them were babies. So looking at it like that, it's kind of like, dang. So I wouldn't want to be held to some of the stuff that I was doing at 18, that I was doing at 16. Because if that was the case, I probably would never live that down. Your brain is still developing. Your body is still maturing. Your brain is still maturing. Everything about you, everything is adolescent still at that moment. 18 legal doesn't mean anything. You're not really coming into who you are until you're in your late 20s. That's when you finally get in the sense like, all right, this is who I am. This is what I got troubles with and all this other stuff. So forgive the man for once. Forgive the man. Forgive all the people who've had those allegations. Now, I'm not saying for the people who've had multiple instances like that of any type of controversy or who have blatantly done the same wrong over and over, I would identify them as that. Let's make that clear. So if you, like I said with the drug example, like I said, if you lie to me like, oh bro, did you get them shoes? Bro, you know I got them shoes. And I'm like, yo, we all wearing our shoes on Thursday, which I would never do, just using this as an example. I'm like, we all wearing our shoes Thursday to the game, bro. Wear your shoes. All right, cool, I'll wear them, bro. Then he come to the game, man, bro, nah, my mom wouldn't let me wear them. I'm like, bro, you said that about the last shoes, and you said that about the shoes before last. Like, bruh, then I'm gonna label you as a liar. Because I see repeated activity and behavior of this such. But I'm not going to label somebody something just based off of one incident in their past. That's not fair. And your past is everything that hasn't happened in the present. So, if you're presently clean, not doing anything, I'm going to label you as the person that you are right now. And you could be a great person right now. And I'm going to label you as a great person right now. because that's who you are. That's who you've shown to be consistently as of right now. I'm not going to reach somewhere in your past and be like, hey, you know what I'm saying? You got this right here. I got to label you as that. That's not fair to anybody at all. And honestly, if you want to judge by that, then you're operating by the law, where there is no grace, where you could get stoned for disobeying your parents or for talking back to your parents. There's no grace in that. It's either you do it and this happens, or you don't do it and you live. And nobody deserves to live by that. And people don't realize that as you judge somebody, you're being judged. The only person that can judge is God. And none of you are God. I'm not God. So to sit back and to place judgment on anything or anybody, who are you? Who are you? The answer is nobody. You're no better than them. I'm no better than them. And that's the point. So don't reach and hit below the belt just to try to pull something on somebody, to try to make them look bad, or to try to have an identity for someone because you don't know who they are. And that's really the gist of everything. You don't know who a person is. So you're looking at their past, at their resume, at their old things that have become new. And you're like, wow, let me pull that and be like, that's who you are. I bet I know that about you. I know that about you. You did this. Cool. I did do that. And I failed, and I repented, and I asked for forgiveness from that person, and I moved on with my life, and I don't move that way no more. So you don't know me, and that's not who I am anymore. And it wasn't who I was at that time. If I fall, I would pray. If I fall on this podcast, I would pray that y'all wouldn't hold me to that one thing. I would pray. I'll be like, look, Mike made this mistake. You know, he just be talking. Mike's opinion is strong. I'm saying we just gonna let it go. We just know you're wrong. We're not gonna move that way no more. Cool. That's what it should be like. We should just forgive each other. But because we're wounded and because we're injured, we look for that thing that also identifies with the pain and the hurt in us, and we try to identify those people with it. Because we got to have somebody to blame. Otherwise, we have no excuse for wallowing in our own hurt and hate and bitterness. Because that's essentially what it is. If you have to label somebody something from your past, you're hating. You hating. How am I hating? I ain't hating on them. I don't covet nothing that they have. They ain't got nothing that I want. They do. They got freedom. Walk around and be who they want to be. To walk around and be who they are. You don't have that freedom. So yeah, you're hating. Because you wish you could live as free as they do. And that's crazy to say, but it's facts. Because why else would you just be trying to label them something? You can't label nobody nothing when they free. That don't even faze them. But it ain't fair either. Regardless if they say something or not. It ain't fair for you to just go and place that on their life as if this is who they've always been and who they will only be. People evolve. Even drug addicts evolve. If you tell me you've been clean for a year, for 2 years, you're not a drug addict no more. You're a recovering drug addict, and I'm not going to identify you with drugs because you're choosing to do better. It's as simple as it is. If you're labeled a backstabber and you're trying to get your life together and you're trying to be loyal and you've shown signs of loyalty and you've consistently been loyal, I'm not going to label you still a backstabber. Now, it's a difference between saying, oh, well, judging looking at their past, I don't know if I necessarily trust them 100%. Cool. That's different. Trust is built through time, through experience, and through walking with somebody. But for you to just identify and call them by that, that's not fair. God don't look at us and be like, hey, I seen you cheated on that test. I seen you did this little white lie right here. By the way, there's no such things as white lies. And, oh, I saw you not take a bath the whole day, even though you were in the house. You stink. You don't bathe. You're unclean. You're unholy. God doesn't do that. Or God doesn't look at us and be like, hey, you were lazy for a week. You're unmotivated. You're a bum. God doesn't do that. So why are we doing it to people? Why? Because we're hurt. And because we're imperfect. We were born that way. But it's nonetheless an excuse. It's not an excuse. In fact, it's a calling to be better, to do better. You can't just be, calling people and identifying them by their past if you're not willing to look past that. Why can't we look past it? That's the question you should be asking. Why can't I look past this? What has me such in a knot about it? Why am I so passionate about this particular topic right here? Oftentimes we'll find it's hurt in our lives that we identify with. It's the pain in our lives that we're still dealing with that identifies with that makes us uncomfortable and that makes us upset, which is natural. Go through your process. Everybody has wounds, but don't take your wounds and put them on other people. Don't take people's past and put them on other people, because your wounds are open because you've never healed them in the first place. That's all that is. Whenever you're able to label somebody by their past and be like, well, you're a woman beater because you beat her, you beat Rihanna, or you're this because you did this, that means you're having problems in your life healing and identifying who you are. You're having an identity crisis because you don't know who you are. Because if I know who I am, I don't need to label nobody else. I know who I am. I don't know who you are. I know me though. You show me who you are through your actions and through your day-to-day transactions with me, and I'm gonna show you who I am. So, with all that being said, this wasn't really something that I felt that we should have to really dig into necessarily in its entirety. It's as simple as look at people for who they are right now, not for all the things that they've done in their past. Because there's people who've done great things in the past, but are doing crap things right now. And that's who you have to look at. Who are they right now? And in their past, does any of this identify with who they are right now? Those are the only two questions that you need to look at. Those are only two things that you need to think about. Who are they right now? Does anything from their past identify with who they are right now? Because oftentimes we might find that people go through phases in their life. People change. And there's a statistic out there that says your taste buds change every 7 years. Apply that to the human. A human evolves every 3 to 5 years emotionally, mentally. Think about that. Because why all of a sudden do guys be like, nah, man, I don't want to cuddle. Like, no problem the whole time. I don't want to cuddle. Or a girl be like, no, don't touch my butt. Like, people evolve. Things change in your life and in your body, especially as a woman. You have kids. Period. All that. Menopause. Dudes, we just still trying to figure stuff out. Certain things it might be a level of intimacy we're not ready for. So, I'm saying all this to say, humans, in my opinion, evolve every 3 to 5 years. So you go through a significant change in 3 to 5 years because you're learning, you're going through things. It's wisdom building, and it's your life shaping you into who you're going to be. And some of that is your past shaping you into who you're going to be because you haven't dealt with the past and you're still making excuses for why the way you are. For why you're the way you are. Sorry. Yeah, when I was little, my mom didn't give me affection and my dad wasn't there, or my mom wasn't there. My dad was very strict and blah, blah, blah. He didn't let me do anything. At the end of the day, we all go through stuff. And I understand for you, some people might go through different things and more things, but we're all going through something. It's not an excuse for you to stay in that same place. It's time for you to move, because you're identifying yourself by your past by not moving. Therefore, you're going to cast judgments on other people based on their past, which isn't fair. So that's how I feel. And hey, it's on y'all to tell me if I'm just capping or if I'm rapping. I feel like I'm rapping, but y'all let me know. It's your boy, Mike the Young OG. Follow me, subscribe, Rap or Cap Podcast on YouTube and Instagram, spelled just like it sounds, RAPORCAP Podcast. I ain't spelling podcast out for you because you get the gist. I'm out. Peace.